How are we, fellow Reds? And welcome to this bonus international break Manchester United episode with me, Spen and Chaz. Before we get into it, as always, if you subscribed, if you're following us, huge thank you. If not, and you're a fellow Red, get involved. Please subscribe, please follow. We're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on Apple, and we're on all the socials. We'd love to connect with you, and we want to make sure that you don't miss a thing. But Chaz, we've then got the small matter of a team to sort out. So let's have a look at this. So we're talking about transfers. So I say silly season's kind of started, but does it ever go away with Man United? We're seeing players every day linked with us. We spoke to this agent. Yeah. So let's get into it. I think before we look at ins, let's just quickly cover outs because there's a bit of stuff to do on that side of thing.
Yeah.
This summer. So let's go for them. Casemiro, we know it's kind of the end.
Yeah.
More recently, kind of been asked about that again.
He's off to
kind of
MLS.
said, it's the end.
That sounds a bit like Inter Miami, LA Galaxy. I've got heard. So
yeah,
you can see him in the pink of Inter Miami. I think he'd be pretty. They seem to like hiring the old kind of ex-Barca and Real stars.
Can see that with his David Beckham links.
Yeah.
We've debated, obviously, whether he should stay and could it be good to have a bit of crossover, but fair play to him, and if he can end on a high, get us in the Champions League, score a few more goals, wonderful. I'm going to ask Bruno Fernandes.
No.
Will he stay for sure?
Yes.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have the team in, he's got to stay. You can't replace him.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, yeah, it doesn't matter. If you've got 100 million for him now, I'm like, well, who are you going to replace him with? Who's going to deliver that many goals and assists and chances created? And he's going to get better at that when he has a better midfield behind him or more energetic midfield behind him. So, yeah, I think it'd be ludicrous to sell him. So, I definitely hope we do not.
Let me be cheeky. So, a scenario. Cole Palmer's kicking off at Chelsea. Man United fan Cole Palmer becomes available for us for, obviously, it would probably be significant money, but it means kind of a Bruno out, a Cole Palmer in. What are you thinking?
Nah. Not doing it. No. I think I rate him, but look at his stats. Obviously it's not all about stats, but he's just the output's not big, especially this last season. It's just not there. And obviously I'd love him at the club, but not in place of Bruno. What would be ideal is you could bring him in and he can learn from Bruno. That'd be incredible for the last couple of seasons. But yeah, for 150 million or whatever it would be, then no. Also, I don't think we need that position. Is not one of my top priorities at all.
No. And obviously I'm being cheeky, but can you imagine it as well if Bruno actually left this summer? Because we're winning the Prem next year, aren't we? So he can't leave the year before after all he's done.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you know? All right. Good. Bruno's staying. Then we've got a list of players who are kind of on loan with some pretty much done, but then there's still some question marks. So we've got Højlund, Rashford, Onana and Sancho out on loan. I think Højlund's pretty much done, right? In terms of Napoli want him. They're probably getting in the Champions League.
He's
That'll
like 35 million or something like that, or 30 million.
Yeah. Although we've been stung before with Chelsea paying a blooming fee to get out of an obligation with Sancho.
Though, if that did happen with Højlund, it's nowhere near as bad as if it happened with Sancho. First of all, you could probably sell him somewhere else, and if he was in the squad still, it's not Sancho level. He could be a decent backup, but I don't think that'd be a question anyway. They like him; he's scoring goals, so I don't think we need to consider that.
Yeah. So Højlund's gone. As you mentioned, Sancho, is it just cut ties, do you think, Sancho? See ya?
Yeah, I think he's done. His contract's done anyway, so he's gone.
Yeah, gone. Gone. Right, he's
gone.
We're
not going to opt to do the plus year one or whatever, if there is one. Good riddance to him.
I'm mad. Yeah. Onana, no way back, right?
Apparently, I saw an article a few weeks ago, him saying he wants to come back and fight. I think that's just rubbish, basically. And no, I think he'll be sold. A huge loss.
I want to play for United, Chaz, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it will be a huge loss. But so we're thinking he's gone.
Yeah.
And then it's an interesting one. Marcus Rashford. Obviously, along on social now, you're just seeing all these little runs and doing bits and his Barcelona time. We're going to get into it, but left, wing left side is something we are looking at. Definitely gone.
I think he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's kind of like, he's kind of, not he's tainted himself with the club, but a kind of, the way
Burnt
it kind of
bridges.
left, he's burnt some bridges, and I think for the best for everyone is for him to leave. And ideally it'd be to Barcelona for whatever pathetic amount they trying to pay, 26 million or something stupid like that. And they're not even trying to pay that. So yeah, he'll be gone.
Yeah, surely not though, and please not another loan. Like we
No,
just can't
I
keep getting
mean, I think
fleeced
also
like this.
now you can be like, well, we'll sell him to someone else, because I think he's played well enough that other clubs would be in for him now. Because there was a bit of stuff last season they weren't so sure about how he's been playing, but I think because he's been playing well, he played well for
Yeah,
England apparently the other night. Um, so he's probably going to get in the World Cup squad. Um, so I think I think he'll go, and I think it will be to Barcelona.
fair. Okay, that's that crop done then and sorted. Then I guess under that there's Bayande, Malacia, Ugarte, Xerxes, and maybe even Mason Mount. What do you think about that crop of people?
Binder can go fine with that. He can go to, I think he's rumoured to go to Turkey. Because we've got that
Yeah,
lad he's at Bristol City. Um, what's his face?
Vitek.
Vitek. Apparently he's really good. He's been like player of the month for lots of the months of season for them. So he can come
Yeah,
in if he wants to. He's only like 21, 22. So he can come and be the understudy, or even push Lemons for the number one spot potentially. So I think that's that kind of position sorted. But last year needs to go. Ugarte, if we can get like 30 million for him or something, happy for him to go. Xerxes, it's just not worked, so I think it's better for him to go as well. Um,
yeah,
and Mount, I think I would keep, because he was probably one of our better players under Amrim when he was fit. The issue with Mount has always never been his ability, it's just his having him on the pitch enough to
yeah.
show that ability. So I'd probably keep him for now. I think he's a good squad player, particularly in the Champions League and stuff like that. If we assume we get into that, I think we can't sell that many players, basically.
Yeah, true. I think I agree with you on them. I'd be very happy if we got 30 mil for Agati. I can't really see it, but you never know. Yeah, like Josh, as you said, don't really think it's kind of worked out. Kind of bought for a different system in a different way. So
Yeah,
feel a little bit sorry for him. There's definitely there's a player in there, as I called him, the Danny Longlegs, but
yeah.
he's just not really. I don't think he's necessarily the one for us. So I'd
Nah,
definitely be
he'll
open
go back
to
to Italy, I think.
offers on that. And I probably, do you know what? I really like Mount and I like what he's about, but there is a big question mark over his availability and that kind of stuff. So if an interesting bid came in, I'd definitely listen to it, I think.
Yeah, what's an interesting bid though?
And yeah,
20
you mean
million, 25 million?
amount, maybe, yeah, just with what we're trying to do.
Yeah,
I'm realistic now. We don't make any money on players anymore and we lose money all the time. But
yeah,
if it's not a joke of a loan or it's, something that we could use to actually reinvest like 20 plus, I'd probably listen to it. Just purely based on availability and what we might be able to do with that money.
yeah, I
All
agree.
right. Outs then, pretty much sorted. That's good. So then hopefully we clear the decks. We finally do get rid of some of them players who have been clinging on. First off, Chaz, I've got a bit of an order that I think is the priority of ins, and I want to get your opinion. So I'm saying number one, and has been for probably God knows how many years, and number six.
Yeah, I agree.
Any question marks?
No.
Agree. All right. Number two, I'm saying a number eight.
Yeah, yeah.
So like,
Basically a second midfielder. Like I don't like
yeah,
my hesitancy is like, depending on who you sign of those two, does it kind of change how those midfielders three work together with Bruno, Kobe, etc. How does that all work together? So, but yes, two midfielders is my top two for sure.
All right, well, let's get into them two straight away then, because I think you've raised a good point. Sometimes I'm a bit confused with some of the people we're being linked with as to kind of, is it a classic number 6? Is it a bit more of an 8? How does that work with Cobby Mania as well? But starting with the number 6, and I think that the true number 6 as I would see them, and the main names I think we've been linked with are Elliot Anderson, also strong ties with Man City potentially in terms of them being interested. And then constantly from last summer as well, Belieber. Would you add anyone into that mix as like a out and out 6 that I'm missing?
Not really. Thing is, with Anderson, I would say he's more than a 6. He's very different to Belabor, and
Yeah,
he's got a lot more progressive passing. He pops up on the wings and things like that. So I think he is a 6, but he's a different 6. If that makes sense. So yeah,
yeah.
and then you've got, where does Bruno Guimaraes sit? Does he? Because
Yeah, I'd put that. Well, it's a good point you raised that, because in the 8 category, and obviously we're interchanging these two roles because obviously they're very closely linked. Obviously, we've got the rumours have started a bit more around Tonali more recently, and I see
yeah,
him as more of an 8 than a 6. Same with Adam Wharton as well, because when I look at Newcastle, and again, I might be completely wrong here, I don't watch enough of Newcastle to really, really know, but I kind of feel that like Bruno feels almost like the deeper line, and then Tonali kind of moving forward. But have I got that completely wrong?
that's how I saw it. I see Tonali as
Yeah.
he's got more legs than Guimaraes, but then Guimaraes has been popping up with goals and all sorts. So yeah, I don't really know. Like I said, I probably don't watch enough of them either.
Yeah.
Because then you think, again, thinking of the Anderson and Belabor thing, I think they're two very different players, but can both play in that position depending on who you've got next to them. But I think, like, what I've heard on a couple of podcasts, and maybe even The Athletic, I can't remember what it was, but it was that Belabor basically is almost like a done deal. And then it's Belabor and other, and that is then
Right.
Anderson, Tonali, Wharton, Guimaraes, all those kind of options. Is what I heard recently on, I think it was The Athletic. So I don't know if that's true. Um, but I guess they're thinking we really liked Belabor last year. We saw him as £100 million player. He's been a bit pants this season, but we still know there's a player in there. Um, so now you can get him for 50 million or 60 million. He's like 22, I think he is. So maybe that's why
Yeah.
that one's kind of almost done. And then the big one, which is the 80 to 100 million, is this other player, which is your Anderson, Tonali, Wharton, those ones. But then, in my opinion, Tonali isn't worth what they're quoting, 80 to 100.
No,
I think he's another 50, 60 guy, in my opinion. And then
I
I
don't know
think
what
the
it
only
is,
one that's
Chaz.
worth
I'm
it is
not
Anderson. But
same, same. I'm not excited about the Tonali rumours. And again, that might be off, but and
yeah,
again,
I'm
I
the
don't
same.
watch loads and loads of him, but I just don't getting him, obviously I would give him all the support and would love to see him do well if he does join, but I just feel a bit strange about that.
But
And
when we watched
again, I'm
the other
trying
week,
to
right?
picture,
Did you like
yeah,
that game? You played, right? You did, yeah. We were
they did.
waxing lyrical about Joe Linton
Yeah,
more than obviously Bruno was injured. Um, but it wasn't like, oh my God, yeah, let's go get Tonali. If anyone from that game, you get Joe Linton. Not, I don't want him, but
yeah,
like that's
yeah.
what you would say. So yeah, I'm not like I saw whether it was 85 million rumor or 89 million for Tonali, and I was like, that's too much money. Like if we got him for 50, 60, I'd be happy. And then with someone else, but I only want to be spending 80 million plus really is on Anderson. I don't think any of them, rest of them, maybe Wharton, but I think Wharton's quite similar-ish to Cobby in what he does. He's not like crazy. Anderson's kind of got it all. He's quite mobile and gets around a bit. He can put a tackle in, but I don't think Wharton has that side to him as much. So then you'd be worried that, like, yeah, is he worth that big money as well?
And I just worry generally, it's all right, Casemiro goes, say we had a dream summer and Baleba and Anderson came in, how does that work with Cobby?
Well, I think the idea is that I guess you're remembering Cobby's 20, and there's going to be at least 50. Let's hope we get past the first round of the FA Cup and League Cup. At least say 55 games or something next season. So if
Yeah,
Cobby only gets 25, 30 games, or gets like 60 games, but 25 of them are starts, then maybe he's okay with that. Well, he's never going to be okay with it, but then it's still pushing him on. He's developing.
yeah,
Because he is only 20. That's the only thing I guess you got to remember. So maybe that's why that could still work, because we just have more games. If it was this season, then yeah, you'd be worried.
yeah. Fair point. Fair point. So yeah, I think, and we've mentioned this before, but I think the names we are hearing are names that we know, and I've mentioned it on a previous pod. I'm a little bit nervous about that we're just going to go for, I like the Premier League proven piece, but I do sometimes wish we'd just pull at least one of these positions to be a gem that
Yeah,
we've never heard of, that then we just fall in love with, and everyone's thinking, where have United pulled him from? Because we always just seem to wait for other clubs to do that and then have to pay over the
yeah, we
odds
buy them, yeah, for double your money.
for a player.
Yeah, they must
So
like
what
we
we're
said it at
saying
the
then for
time.
this?
Who do we think, or who do you want?
I, I'd say, yeah, dream picks then for this kind of 6/8 if it's two players.
I think I would take Anderson, and I probably would just take Baleba, just because I think he's got
Mm,
more potential than Tonali. Tonali's already 25, 26. And I think I don't
yeah,
think you need Wharton and Anderson as two. Whereas I think Baleba and Anderson, along with Cobby and Bruno, can work really well as a four, depending on which game you want to, who you're playing. Like, say you're playing someone with who's going to have the ball more, or one of the top teams, you maybe have Baleba and Anderson and Bruno, and then maybe if you're playing one of the bottom clubs, you have Anderson, Cobby, and Bruno, because it's just more about dictating play, less about being combative. That's what I think are probably the better ones to go for. What do you think?
yeah, I like it. Yeah, I really, again, England fan I as well. So what I've seen of Anderson, I really like him, and I would really hope we don't miss out on another player to City. And
Yeah,
if I'm not saying we're very prepared, like Goldbridge says, but I do think compared to years gone by, we are a more attractive offer than we've ever been, really, to come and
yeah,
join us, because you can see an upward trajectory. You can see things going in the right direction. So, you can see players like Cunha come in, and then Buemo come in and doing well and getting stuck in. So, yeah, Anderson's one that I would really like to get through the door. Baleba, I think it's because he's kind of fallen off a little bit, but that happens to younger players, right?
yeah,
But yeah, for me, it's Anderson, and then maybe a little gem from around
yeah.
Europe or somewhere I've not really thought of
The
would
20
be
million or 30 million
my
or something
wish.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly that. But yeah, we've said this for ages, and it's an area we really need to address. And Casemiro has been great, to be fair, but we know we're not in the market for that profile of player anymore. So
yeah,
be interesting to see. Moving on then, I had a few other options. So I think I had a number 3 as priority. I had backup striker, then I had left wing, then I had left back, and then I had right back. What do you think about that priority? Did you change it at all?
I'm in between. I maybe put in left back higher up than left wing if you had left wing higher. Um, I just I think right back you're kind of okay with for another season with Dallo and Mazraoui. But I think left back, I don't know, I just can't really rely on Shaw to play that many games. Obviously he's done amazing this year and played so many games, but then you can't play 50, 60 games without him falling apart, I don't think. So I'd maybe put
No
that
chance.
a
Yeah.
bit higher. Um, and the reason I put it higher than the left winger is because I'm quite hopeful of some of the youth coming through. Um, like we've seen like flashes of Shea Lacey and um, I can't remember his name. He scored the other day in the FA Youth Cup. He scored a couple. I can't remember his name anyway. Another winger. So I'm just hoping that maybe with the front line we have, and maybe a bit of youth coming through, we can focus on a kind of a left back instead. I think maybe it was Carl Anker on the Athletic Talk of the Devils. I think he said that if you unlock a decent attacking left back, then you probably don't need a left wing because that person can be overlapping Cunha, whoever it might be, and offering that attacking kind of assist threat, which you don't have at the moment because Shaw's too tired. So I'd probably
So
put that one higher up.
what you do? What are you doing with Ballon d'Or then?
I forgot about Bandori. I definitely don't need a left.
I was gonna
Definitely don't need it. Definitely don't need a left midfielder, do I? Even more so. Even more so.
Yeah. So are you having him as a left winger going forward, do you think?
Yeah, but also I think he's got the experience and athleticism to play at left back as well. So, but I'd still
Yeah.
want a left back over a left midfielder, especially now you've reminded me of the best player in the world.
Yeah, true. All right, that's interesting. And I had striker kind of after midfield as well. Do you agree with me in terms of like a backup striker being a priority, or
Yeah, but not
is in
like
Buemo that role?
not like a money spend. Like not, I don't know who's out and about. We should have to look at the free transfer lists, but or people going into their final year of their contracts. Like I'm thinking like 28 to 34-year-old who's just can bang in a few goals, maybe get like 8 to 10 goals across all competitions in the season. Be happy to kind of be playing for United, but not necessarily starting every week. But then if you need him to, someone gets injured, the standard doesn't drop off massively. So I don't know who that is. Like, obviously, I know we both love him. Welbeck would have been kind of ideal for that, and he would have been ideal for that for the last
Yeah,
3-4 seasons with everyone's been talking about him. And I think he's been linked before, and I can't remember who canned the deal. Is it Jim Ratcliffe maybe? Canned it a couple of years ago, saying he's too old and we shouldn't be signing that. It's like, well, actually, he'd be ideal. So someone like that, I don't know who they
yeah.
are. Like, obviously Lewandowski, for example, he's a free transfer this summer. Like, obviously, we probably can't afford him for what his role coming in, and necessarily want that. But imagine like Sesko learning from Lewandowski, and Lewandowski kind of
Amazing.
popping up, and he's still class, still scores lots of goals. So, but there's someone like that out there. Obviously, Calvert-Lewin is one we probably should have looked at last year. He's done really well now. He's fit on a free transfer. So, there must be some decent transfers out there, free transfers or 5-10 million ones out there. But I think it needs to be a experienced striker, not a young striker.
A la Henrik Larsson, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, Danny Welbeck's always one where you just think, oh, it would just be such a, obviously hindsight as well, because he's been absolutely on fire this season, but
yeah.
what a lovely fit that would have been to have Danny Welbeck back. And I feel it was a crime to let him go anyway. But yeah,
Have you
it
got
would be
any in your
nice to just
head?
reinforce that.
Any we know? Anyone in your mind?
No, I think what I keep thinking about is more so this Mbuemo dilemma, because obviously it's not fully working at the minute to kind of have him out on the right, and I hope that can change. But is there a bit more of like a mix up in certain games between them two through that central play? Look, we tried to sign Semenyo, and he would have come in probably on the right based on what he's done at City. So I don't know. I just don't know whether, not that I expect Buemo to become a backup striker, but I don't know. Could he have a bit more of a role centrally than he's been
Yeah.
doing? But to be fair, it's not working that much for him up there either, is it? Because we're
No,
trying to do
exactly.
crosses and
Yeah.
stuff as well. So yeah, as I say, we said on the last pod, it's a bit of a question mark over Mbuemo and his role there. But yeah, Danny Welbeck is the perfect profile for me in terms of just someone proven, someone that can come on, someone that can score. I'd really, really like it. I guess Thiago as well at Brentford's been scoring goals, and he's got that profile of like a big forward who,
Yeah.
is now
A bit
proven in the
expensive
Prem
these
and
days, though.
surely wouldn't. Yeah, do you think from
Yeah.
Brentford? Yeah, I suppose Brazilian
Yeah.
as well. But could be a nice link up as well with the likes of Cunha and stuff as well. But Yeah, it's an area where I would like to strengthen, as you say, not going crazy on the price front. But if we could be clever with a bit of business, like say maybe free transfer, would like to see something there. Um, and yeah, obviously we've just confused ourselves now with a little bit with Ballandorgu, but we're saying left back now, and I think what's been mentioned is Lewis Hall, and then the rumours recently are around Miles Lewis Skelly. What do you think about
Yeah,
those?
Lewis Hall, I think is really good. I think he'll
Yeah,
probably start for England. And yeah, I think he looks like a decent player. He pops up with quite a few assists. So he'd probably be my number one choice. Miles Lewis Hill obviously kind of burst onto the scene last year. But then is he out on loan? Did he go on loan? I think he did. He's definitely not starting at Arsenal. Um, so he's obviously highly rated, but not seen enough of him this season to know if he's worthy of that high rating he had the season before.
yeah.
But I'd basically take either of those two. My preference would be Hall, but then yeah, Lewis Skelly from what I saw previous years. I'd be surprised if they sold him, but um, yeah, I'd take him.
Yeah, I feel like Arsenal are kind of maybe not playing him as much because he's maybe a little bit lightweight as well compared to kind of
Well,
Calafiori, and
and
that's
also
that's
they
something
basically
that
play
I
centre backs at back for
yeah
their back four, don't they? It's a bit weird, so it doesn't really fit into their system as a traditional left back, I guess.
yeah I wouldn't be that excited about him just based on that. And again, this is probably another position where I would love to see us go into our scouting network
Well, yeah,
and
here's a
find
Patrice Evra
somebody,
for
but
yeah, Patrice Evra or get
yeah,
behind a vibe. Like there's someone out there who's well, maybe like Dorgu's obviously someone like Dorgu maybe who can kind of come in and do a similar sort of transfer cost and exceed expectations basically.
yeah, exactly. But also like you, I do really like the look of Lewis Hall. I've enjoyed watching him. He just seems that he's got it all really. He's good on the ball. Seems like a decent defender that gets stuck in as well. He's got a bit of physicality about him as well compared to the likes of Lewis Skelly, and I think he would
Yeah.
be a good one. But Newcastle fans aren't going to like us looking at all their players
No,
out raiding them. I
it's
saw
like the home
Sneehausen having
midfield.
a bit of fun on Twitter, I think, with some Newcastle fans who were kicking off.
I really that we're stealing all
So
their
that was
players.
an yeah, enjoyable read. Them just obviously claiming to be this massive club that players shouldn't leave, but looks like there's some interest to leave, so
Yeah,
Summit's
yeah.
there, you know. Um, all right. Any others just generally when you're looking at our potential ins and areas and potential players that you've seen us linked with that you'd want to mention?
Yeah, well, I do have like one connection to United and they gave me a little insight. You hear this guy? Wesley Snyder?
Go on. Wesley Schneider. Was it Taribo West as well
Yeah. Wesley Snyder's
for
back.
the
It's
champ
time.
mandate?
Finally.
Yeah,
No, not really.
the one that got away.
The one of many that got away, to be fair. Um, yeah, no, not really. Anyone out there that is realistic. And like you said, I'd rather not be looking at PSG's best players. And obviously, Jim Ratcliffe said a lot of nonsense since he's been here, but him saying he wants to buy the next Mbappe, not Mbappe, is what we should be doing. Um,
Yeah,
but there's not that much evidence of that yet, based on the kind of strategy and the players we're after again this summer and kind of Premier League proven. But maybe is obviously Bowen Dorgu's probably arguably one of the best players in the world. So it's whether or not you find more people like that while you're securing. So basically, you need to do some risky ones, which don't break the bank. Because I've seen some rumors of I can't remember who it's from. Is it? Yeah, Diamande from Leipzig. They won like 100 million from him. He's had like half a good season. His stats aren't even that good. It's like I don't want us to go anywhere near
yeah,
that kind of sign in. We need to sign Diamande the season before or 2 seasons before for 30 million, and then it's not a risk. We've been blown by these risky Anthony signings and things like that in the past. So yeah, stay clear of that.
yeah. Let's let Liverpool waste a bit more money,
Exactly. Yeah.
and hopefully have another shocking season. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, we haven't mentioned centre back, but I feel we're pretty covered there. And obviously, if we're going to be giving Maguire a bit of an extension as well, and if De Ligt can ever recover from his back injury, then hopefully we should be in decent stock there, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, with like Heaven and Euro as well, kind of getting older and more experience and growing in stature. I think we're pretty set there.
Definitely. But yeah, let's leave it there, Chaz. That was quite fun to delve into something a little bit different and to explore what the summer could look like. You know, of course, as well as the World Cup, we'll have a proper look and we'll stay close to how things progress for United during the summer and ins and outs and all that stuff. But yeah, what do you guys think? What names have you heard? Who have we missed? Let us know. Yeah, please add in the comments. And as always, drop this a like, really helps. And don't forget to subscribe and follow on all the platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and all the socials. Thank you for watching as always. And we will see you in the next one.